The movie picks up from the last scene of Far From Home, where Mysterio reveals Spider-Man's true identity as Peter Parker, and smears Peter Parker for his murder during the Europe attack and exposes him as Spider-Man to the public. Parker runs away from a crowd angry at his MJ girlfriend and returns to his apartment, where he finds out that Aunt May had broken up with Happy. Peter breaks the news to them that he has been exposed in front of the whole world. Shortly after, the FBI enters the apartment and captivates Parker, MJ, Ned and Aunt May, but they soon manage to be picked up by the lawyer Matt Murdock. Parker returns to his high school surrounded by a slew of media, where Peter learns that his college applications have been rejected, including Ned and MJ's application for being just his friends. Over the Halloween period, Parker had the idea of meeting up with Dr. Strange. He then arrives at the Sanctum Sanctorum and asks Strange to cast a spell to make everyone forget about Peter Parker as Spider-Man, but Strange didn't have the Time Stone since it was destroyed. On time, Strange got another idea. Despite Wong's warning of the consequences that could incur, Strange casts the spell anyway, making everyone in the world forget about Peter Parker Spider-Man, including him as well. However, the spell is damaged when Peter insists that his close friends stay the same, which causes the other universes to collapse. Assuming the spell worked, Parker goes to the Alexander Hamilton Bridge and tries to convince an MIT administrator to accept Ned and MJ college applications. Suddenly, the bridge is attacked by Dr. Otto Octavius, who has entered this universe. Dr. Octavius fights Spider-Man and in the middle rips his nanotechnology out of his iron spider suit and has it attached to his mechanical tentacles. When Peter takes off his mask, Dr. Octavius discovers that it's not the Peter Parker he previously fought. Due to the emergence of nanotechnology on his robotic arms, Peter manages to control them and disables his robotic arms. Peter then captures him and places him in a holding cell in the Sanctum Sanctorum. In the Sanctum Sanctorum we discover that the Lizard has also been captured by Dr. Strange. With the help of MJ and Ned, Peter decides to capture other possible visitors from the multiverse. Peter then finds Electro, who attacks him, but suddenly Sandman arrives there and helps Peter. Peter then captivates them both and locks them in the Sanctum Sanctorum. Homeless Norman Osborn is picked up after going to a feast facility building, seeking Aunt May's help. Peter, after meeting him, quickly arrives there. There, Peter tells him that I will surely send you home safely. Then he also took Norman with him. Strange wants to send the villains back to their respective universes and meet death, as it is their destiny to die fighting Spider-Man. However, Peter wants to heal and help them before sending them away to avoid their deaths. He frees them and confines Strange in the mirror dimension after a brief fight. Peter then leads the 5 villains to Happy's apartment. Peter successfully heals Octavius using Stark technology to design a device to replace his broken inhibitor chip. When Peter develops the cure for Electro and Lizard, the Green Goblin makes them realize what Spider-Man did to them before the cure could be administered. Goblin then manipulates Electro into removing the device Peter put on him to heal him, and despite Peter and Octavius' best efforts, the other 4 escape. In the assured battle, May was badly injured by the Goblin and Peter was unable to save her as he succumbed to his wounds. Fearing the worst after having no contact with Peter, MJ and Ned accidentally learn how to open portals using the strange slingshot ring, which they use in an attempt to find Spider-Man from other universes. Ned opens the portal and Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man arrives there. Ned opens another portal again. Now Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man arrives. Ned and MJ find their Peter, who confronts MJ after learning of May's death. Tom Spider-Man then meets the other Spider-Man from their respective universes who share their own stories of losing loved ones, like Andrew Spider-Man losing Gwen Stacy and Tobey Spider-Man losing Uncle Ben. They then encourage him to fight in honor of May. They cooperate to cure the remaining villains. They decided to lure them to the Statue of Liberty, which is now enhanced with a giant Captain America shield in his honor. Ned and MJ protect the magic box while the Spider-Men fought their enemies together, which was the best superhero versus villain fight ever. Electro reconciles with Peter of his own universe and is encouraged to put aside his evil tendencies, but frees Spider-Man with Octavius arriving on the scene to help defeat and heal Electro, Sandman, and Lizard. In between both, the strange frozen battle of the mirror dimension. Strange is shocked to see that Peter's plan actually worked. Strange takes control of the spell and works to protect the current universe as barriers begin to fall between the other universes, and Strange is unable to stop it. Meanwhile, a wrathful Peter overpowers and brutally fights the Goblin in revenge for May's death, but shortly is stopped by the Peter from his universe and saves him from death. But Green Goblin again shows his evilness and stabs Tobey in the back, as the Goblin redirects the blame for May's death on Peter. Parker injects him with the cure that brings him back to a repentant Osborn. To avoid further destruction, the Strange must redo the spell that will erase Peter Parker's memory from everyone's mind. having no choice, the Parker asks, the Strange casts this spell. Strange fixes the spell that sends the alternate villains and his Spider-Man back to their respective universes. While making everyone forget about Parker's existence, later Parker comes to MJ and Ned and tries to get them to remember his existence and tries to reconnect with MJ and Ned but can't bring himself to do so and leaves as anonymous Peter Parker. Parker visits May's grave with Happy, who is now also unaware of his identity. Peter promises himself to continue. Parker then creates a new costume from scratch to resume his independent heroism. In the mid-credit scene, universe displaced Eddie Brock and his symbiote partner Venom sit at a bar and talk to the bartender about other superhumans and the Blip as they consider how to protect this new world. Dew is quickly brought back to her universe by a strange spell. They unknowingly leave a piece of Venom on the counter and the movie ends here. So share your opinion about this movie in comments section and don't forget to subscribe my channel for more videos like this. Goodbye.